Hello, my beautiful soul tribe. All right, guys. I was just trying to ground us. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about today exactly, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to ask the divine to just bring forward whatever message that our collective may need to hear. Divine Holy Spirit, Father God, I thank you for this day. I ask that you give me a message for my collective. What is it that you would like me to talk about today? I am your open and willing vessel. I am your open and willing channel, and I thank you. I praise you, Father God, Holy Spirit. Help me to speak your words, not mine. Your understanding, your messages. Thank you, Father. Praise you, Father. Amen. Let's see what we're going to talk about today, Soul Tribe. General collective Soul Tribe reading. So, change is coming. Spirit wants us to talk about change. What else, Father? What else? What's the change? Purity, guys. Here's this energy of us being purified again, okay? The change is the collective purification, okay? And going forward, okay? So we're going to talk about the changes. Okay, so we're going to talk about the changes in order, I don't know, the changes moving forward, okay, on purification, sorry. We're going to go to my deck. So what understandings as a collective? So there's a change in perspective, a change in understanding that Spirit wants to bring forward. What is this perspective change that we need to talk about? Okay, yeah, that we do not perceive our own best interests. And what I'm getting from this, you guys, and what I've been being taught is that, when we can surrender to the simplicity of God is in control, it truly is simple. It's like Spirit's telling us God is in control of all parts, all things. You, me. He's within every moving part. He's within everything present in the manifested self, in the physical self, right? I've been studying the Bhagavad Gita. I think I'm saying that right. And it talks about, it's talking about us truly. I'm still just starting, but what I'm wanting to talk about right now is the fact that, like, God is present within each one of us, okay? It's like us surrendering control, surrendering us our own perceptions, our own striving to control this world and the things of the world, whether it's relationship or self or outcomes of situations. It's easier when it's like when you surrender to the divine and you have this acceptance that divine is within each and every one of us, and there's a divine intelligent plan to everything. So every circumstance, every experience, every thought, every feeling, okay, is under divine control. It's like we do not perceive what is best for us. I feel like the divine is truly, like, we are going through a purification, you guys, and it's a purification of surrendering control, surrendering thinking that you are in control of anything, okay? It's like when we can get this perception, this understanding of God's in control, God's divine plan, God is within us, yes, and we are all connected through the God that is within us. That's what unity is about, okay? We no longer strive. It's like the physical, the dream. I'm hearing the dream of the physical, where we're competing and striving and trying to control. That is what creates the world of duality. That's what takes us away from the truth of the unity that's always true, whether you perceive it or not, that you are unified with God always and forever. Nothing can separate you from the divine, okay? I don't know, but the change that's coming in is our perceptions and us having to feel like we have to be in control, Okay, us feeling like we have to be in control of our situation. It's like being present. Yes, being present in all experience, but being outside of the experience, like being the watcher, right? Spirit brought in I was talking to someone earlier, and Spirit brought in this insight of, it's like when you're the watcher of your experience and you're not so enthralled with the experience to the point where you got to control everything, right? You got to perceive it as you're in control. You got to perceive it as, oh, your feelings are hurt, or this has happened, or you hold on to resentment or unforgiveness, right? If you're in that energy of perception, that you got to control and you got to take action, and instead of being in the energy of flow, right? Spirit's like sorry, there's construction going on outside, but it's like being in the energy of flowing with the divine. There's a simplicity in that. Okay, there's a purity in that. I don't know what, guys, I'm trying to explain something that I'm still trying to grasp, but yeah, so the change is our perceptions. What's the purity, Spirit? Yeah, it's placing the future in God's hands, not trying to control every experience, not trying to control reality, not trying to control anything, but experiencing all things as this watcher energy, as this Okay, so what I was trying to say a while ago is like, yeah, it's like you can look inside someone's situation and you see things that they're not able to see when they're in the thick of a situation, right? For a relationship, for example. Right? The outsiders can always see better inside a situation than the people who are in the situation. So when you become this watcher of experience, and you're experiencing your experience, but you're able to gain more wisdom, more knowledge, more understanding, a higher perception of the divine in the experience. Okay? And it comes with surrendering control. It comes with understanding that all things are in the hands of God. All things. By grace, and you live by grace, right? We all live by grace, the grace of God. His heart, His love for us. And you're released by grace. I feel like this is going back to that reading I did about, Father offering the keys of freedom here. It's like freedom from self-imprisonment. We've imprisoned ourselves, guys, through the world of duality. We've imprisoned ourselves through our perceptions of control, through our perceptions of separation from the divine. But He's telling us that we can rest in Him, right? I rest in God, and it's by grace that all things exist. The future is not in our control. We can't control anything that's happening in our life's experiences. We're meant to experience those things to gain wisdom and higher knowledge and a higher connection to the divine, but a pure connection. Okay? What's changing is our old perceptions in regards to controlling our own interests. Okay? Going forward, what is going to be there's a new energy there's like a newness of the divine. It's not new, but it is. The Holy Spirit is speaking through us, right? Going forward, we're able to literally, it's the Spirit of God speaking through us in all experience, right? It's like when we have this surrendering, we get this aha moment in our perception, through surrendering and just complete acceptance. That brings you into this pure energy. And that pure energy tells you that, the future and all experience is in the divine hands, and that you live by His grace and His power and His will. And you can find rest and peace and blessings when we rest in God. And then He can use us moving forward. He can use us like He is the Holy Spirit. Okay, but that Holy Spirit resides in each one of us. It's like when we go through this process, this change around belief and perception of the divine, this is a gift. It's not an easy process to go through. Okay, it comes with battling fears. It comes with looking through the untruths. It comes with seeing past the duality into the true unity of us all. That we are all God's children. We are all God. We are all Him. He is all of us. And we are all Him. There is truly no separation. So if He's in all of us, and we're all in Him, right? No matter if we're in this physical realm and we're perceiving through the physical realm, it's like we can still have that higher perception as we're in the physical realm. It's like having that higher understanding, that higher perception of unity, of we're all connected and being used by God's Spirit to create whatever changes, being the tools in His toolbox, right? You're His tool in His toolbox. Anyways. And understanding God goes with you wherever you go. You're never separated from God. Whatever the world of duality wants you to believe or tries to create in you through fear, right? Through lies of control, lies of fear, lies of unpeacefulness, right? God He is truly in control. The peace of God, the grace of God, the love of God, that's what He wants us to focus on. Even if the experience of the physical duality, the world of duality, you're still going through the process of growing in that world, you can still hold on to the higher perception of God, of unity, right? The higher divine perception of God goes with you wherever you go, even when you walk in this world of duality. And your soul is eternal. There's nothing in this physical world that can separate you from the eternalness of God, because God is within you. You are an extension of the divine. You are a tool in His toolbox to create change, to manifest, and like just like Spirit was saying, He's the potter, we're the clay. Well, so is the world, right? And before, Spirit was talking about experience being the wheel, the potter's wheel, right? But when it comes into the world's terms, He's the potter, okay? The world is the clay, and you are that potter's wheel. I hope that's making sense, right? And on bigger terms of the world, right? When you're able to be used and create the change, right? When you get in alignment with the divine perception and you realize that you live by grace, you can rest in God no matter your experience, okay? You will always be resting in God, and the future is in His hands. He's here to shape everything. But first we have to come to this pure understanding of the divine is with us in all things, all people, all situations. And each thing is literally either being used as the clay or it's being used as the potter's wheel, right? And Spirit's saying always be thankful, right? A heart of gratitude, a heart of thankfulness will see you through anything, right? Instead of us like being in this energy of feeling like we got to control our situation, experience your situation, be the watcher of your experience, and have a heart of gratitude, because each thing is truly a gift, no matter what it is, right? No matter what it is, it's all a gift. It's His gift to you to bring you into the process that we're talking about here, to bring you into the change necessary for the purification moving forward, so you can be used by the Holy Spirit, which is all of ours true purpose. All of creation's true purpose is to be used by the divine. Okay? Is what I'm getting here. But let's just go a little deeper here. All right, so what is this change perception? Okay, more about this change perception. Yeah, your higher self. Okay, God is your higher self. The divine is your higher self. And is in our higher self is that sacred intuition. Our higher self is the self that knows that there is truly no separation from God. So it's like the higher self, the divine self is manifesting. It's now coming into balance and manifestation in the world of duality in a way that it never has before, guys, is what I'm seeing. It's a divine revelation. It's a gift. Okay? It's a gift. It's breaking us free from imprisonment of the mind, imprisonment of the lower self, of control, of fear, of all the anxieties that the lower self attaches us to. Because, another thing is we have to learn to detach from experience. right? It's like go through your experiences, but in an energy of not being attached to it. The experience is meant to enlighten your soul, enlighten your mind, okay? So you can look at it, and when you're in this energy of detachment, that's the watcher energy. When you're in the energy of the watcher and you're detached and you're able to see it in a higher level, you're able to see the experiences with divine eyes versus the old self, the lower self, right? That looked at everything with attachment, with control, right? With condemnation, right? Those lower energies, that's what's being purified in us, you guys. That's what's being purified, and that stuff needs to be released and purified in order for us to come into this and accept, not just come into, but accept this gift, this change, this perception change, which is linking us to our sacred intuition and our truest higher selves, our unified self with the divine. And a lot of us are shamanic healers, cleansing. This is a cleansing and an attunement. Soul Tribe, we're going through this cleansing, through this attunement, getting in our hearts are being healed. It's a gift. It's a gift of love from the divine, and it comes through acceptance. And then we're able to have we're able to resonate vibrationally, right, with the divine's frequency. Look, that's our freedom, guys. What I'm talking about, I know I could explain this better, but I'm trying to put into words what divine's showing me the best I can here, okay? I'm going through this too. But it's us being able to move on, letting go of the cage that we've put ourselves in. Everybody wants to blame Satan, but we've been those Satans to ourselves. We've imprisoned ourselves. We've imprisoned our own minds by feeling or perceiving that we've ever been separated from God, that we've ever been in control. Okay? You have free will, yes, but that free will is always going to lead you back to the divine's will, either through strife and hardship or through blessings and understandings and perception growth is what I'm getting. And a little bit of both for us, right? But Spirit, it's like God is revealing himself to give us these keys to this cage, to give us true divine freedom and unity. And it's manifesting. That's what this ascending age is about. It's manifesting the divine revealed. It's manifesting souls in their highest vibrational self, which is the self that is in true alignment and attunement with divine perception, with divine understanding, and them being used as the tool in that toolbox to speak going forward, to speak with the Holy Spirit going forward. You're the vessel of the Holy Spirit. Each one of us are the vessel. Tell me about the Holy Spirit speaks through me today, Spirit, Father God. Yeah, emotional influence, right? We first have to let go of these entanglements, these attachments. Entanglement is attachments, okay? Look at these girls' face. They're gossiping. They got jealousy. They got judgment on their faces, right? We've got to let go of those lower vibrational things that keep us in strife and competition or in judgment. And see, and it's like when we look at one another, we're meant to see each other as God sees each one of us. And realize that if someone is in a jealous energy, we don't judge them. We just realize that's God within them, using them to bring them to their higher self, right? So we don't judge if they're in the energy of anger or competition, right? I mean, all of those energies we've all experienced, and they're meant to be the stepping stones to bring us all into this energy, okay? Yeah, it's the journey's guide. All those energies of entanglement, they're the journey's guide. But I feel like this ascending age that we're moving into, that stuff is being purified and purged, and we're gaining higher perspective of, I'm not saying it won't still manifest and be used, but the perspective of how we judged each other in those energies is changing. We're getting freedom. And that freedom comes with us being able, it's like when we see the divine perspective of why those energies exist, and we let go of judgment, we let go of attachment, and that's bringing in freedom, you guys, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, and then we can all walk in this energy of gratitude and soulful appreciation. So we can appreciate those energies that we used to look at within ourselves or others and place judgment on, resentment or attachment to. And when we have the divine higher perspective of these things, right? We can look at it with soulful appreciation in the understanding that it is all divine's will and there's a divine plan. Divine is in control, and even not us nor anyone else in this existence ever is ever separated from the divine. The divine is in each and everything, each and every person, each and every experience. So instead of looking for the things that aren't of the divine in one another, it's like looking and searching for that divine spark, that divine part of one another. Seeing the divine through eyes of divine. It's like the divine seeing the divine self, but in all selves, which is each other. And yeah, no longer, and then we're no longer attached to the currents of emotions that keep us in this cage, right? We're no longer attached and being manipulated through desperation or desire or uncontrolled feelings. I hope this is making sense, y'all. I'm still working through this. And yeah, we have balance. Okay? We're in the energy of balance, which is centered energy, centered in the divine. And that's true self-care, right? That's the true self-care, is being centered in the divine and balanced. And then you're going to have relaxation in your life. Peaceful pursuits, happy times. Then you're going to have this mindfulness in all your interactions with one another, all your experiences. Okay? You're not judging them as good or bad, maybe positive and negative, right? But not good and bad, and you're not judging one another as good or bad. And then you have a peaceful presence and a quiet mind. You're relaxed in all your pursuits. You're in the divine flow. You're not striving, right? You're embracing all that life is, right? All of your experience. You're able to be that soulful, appreciative watcher of experience. And I feel like that's when the experience changes. That's when your personal experience, it's like when we come into this alignment with the divine, the experience becomes more relaxed. It becomes more mindful, more appreciative. Instead of striving and condemning and feeling imprisoned by anxieties and fears, right? It's a divine gift. And then you're able to speak like the Holy Spirit is speaking through you, and you become others' personal guides. Okay? Guardian angels of your spirit family. You become, like Spirit's been telling me, a lot of us are graduating into this ancestral guidance, it's like we're the guides, we're the ancestral guides. It's like if we can it's like what you believe, what your faith is where you're gonna have, is what your experience is gonna be, right? But it's like when we come to this energy of balance and divine surrenderance is what I'll call it, mindfulness, you graduate into this level of guardian angel. Okay, you graduate in this level of being like a spirit guide for your ancestral line, is what I'm getting. Yeah, you're coming up from the depths. Okay, you're releasing the difficulties. That's releasing difficulties. I'm telling you guys, there's a world change happening. Okay, and there's a line in the sand that's always, Spirit's been telling me from when I first started this. Spirit started talking about a line in the sand's being drawn. And it's going to come down to your belief, your knowingness of this higher self that's connected to the divine always, and your searching and seeking of what that means for your soul, right? Yeah, look, here's confirmation of what I just said about us being these ancestral guides. It says talent guides, spirit mentors, and teachers. We're graduating. We're coming up from the depths, Soul Tribe. We're able to release these difficulties and step into these roles here. And that's always been your plan. That's always been God's plan to be it's because the Holy Spirit can speak through you when you go through this purification. When you accept this gift from the divine of letting go of attachment, of healing the heart. Okay, you come into the attunement here. You find rest in God. You live by, you see all situation, all experience as the grace of God and God's purpose. We don't judge it as good or bad. We see it as having a positive influence or a negative influence in the physical, but it's always coming to the positive. No matter if it feels like it's a negative influence at the moment, God will always bring it. It's like God is our God. Like he always brings it back to the good. Okay, and that's a promise He gave us. No matter what we're experiencing, like holding on to that promise that it's for our highest good. Okay, it's for, and we walk and live by the grace of God. And our future is in God's hands. We can rest in all that God has to offer us, all that God is showing us and revealing to us. Okay, but this is about to go off. So, yeah, letting go of urgency, Spirit saying. And then, yeah, we've got Archangel Raziel, which speaks about wisdom, inspiration, and the Akashic records. So surrender. Okay, so this is how we're doing it, through surrender, freedom from the constraints. Okay, resting in the peace of God, and then leaning into the divine wisdom that He's giving you through your experience, the inspiration, the insight that you're getting by seeking and looking deeper. And then, yeah, you're tapping into the Akashic records, and that's the wisdom of the Magi, right? Mental clarity, soul tribe. All right, so I'm going to go. That's power. This is about to cut off. I'm going to go, y'all. I guess I could talk until, yeah, and it comes through self-acceptance, compassion, and forgiveness. Self-acceptance. The self-acceptance is the acceptance of the divine within you and all beings. Seeing through divine eyes all of divinity as self.